So in one of the things that we've seen is that over time, the smartphone ownership has been increasing. So even as young as 12, we're kind of seeing a jump in that 4-year span from 2015 to 2019, from 41% of teens to 69% teens. I think part of what we're seeing is not even we can think about just in terms of ownership, but the acceptability of use of the smartphone. I mean, I recall when sort of smartphones just started becoming a thing, right? Where I was working, and sort of issues coming up in my department with like, walking past certain people's offices and like, see them texting. It was just like, hey, this is what's going on here. We've got work to do. And this person's sitting on their phone for 10 minutes. Like, what's going on here? But now you walk around the office, somebody kind of look at their phone. It's not as a concerning issue as when these things were first becoming part of it. One of the metaphors that I like to use is thinking about the brain as almost kind of think of like we are when we're born. We all want to have our own boat, let's say. We all want to be the captain of our own ship. But when we're first born, we are basically just a passenger on the ship, right? We can't do anything for ourselves. As we grow older, we join the ship crew. The parents are still the captains of the ship. They tell us what to do, but they may give us chores, right? We can, maybe we can swab the deck or something like that. Eventually, you get to the teenage years, you become maybe second mate or first mate. You're better at making decisions, but the captains don't totally trust you yet, right? They're going to let you to do more things on your own, but they still need to check on you. And so your kid, where their brain is, they're not ready to be the captain of a ship yet. They may be the first mate or second mate, really depends on development. So you have to understand where is your, so the big things here we want to think about here is sleep, right? So we've got a number of things that can go wrong with electronics use in terms of cyberbullying and letting information out there, but sleep is a really big one. So the big problem is it impacts sleep efficiency. So that's the time we're asleep against the total time we're in bed, right? So how much are we actually getting rest? So the things that we want to make sure of is like one of the big things that will happen is that kids are using media and texting around bedtime. But really, we need to be off the phone, off electronics, like 1 to 2 hours before bed. Now, I know that's not really necessarily what's happening, but even 30 minutes before bed can be a really good thing. We need to set up this boundary of turn it off, downtime, go to sleep, because people get connected up to their phone. So in thinking about some of the stuff, again, we talked about here that the electronics use is associated with increased activation of the reward centers, the dopamine pathways. So likes in social media will activate the pleasure centers of our brain, the ventral striatum, ventral medial prefrontal cortex, ventral tegmental area. So these areas are lighting up even just with likes. So on social media, those parts of my brain light up. So when I'm posting things like, I want more of these likes, it feels good. Okay. The anterior cingulate cortex activates when a person receives peer reactions that don't match their own beliefs. So this is associated with detecting norm violations. So we can kind of, if I post something that that don't match my own beliefs, my brain is kind of detecting, and so something's wrong here. And that kind of happens a lot just in socialization in general, right?